Okay, here we go. This is the number one trade. A lot of traders only trade the number one. If you are a new trader or you're a new member in the room, you need to focus on the number one trade. The number one trade is a retracement trade with trend. This is our first qualified number one we had this morning. We had one set up. I was looking to buy 53.60 this morning, but the moving average crossed down on me, so I nullified the trade. And then we are now looking to sell. We said we want to sell 21 or 36, because if you look down here to the bottom left, the volume level is at 93.21, and we had 93.36. So as we approach that level, it is with trend. The moving averages are crossed down. Our number one trade, it tells us to sell HVA on the first test. This is now 1 for 1 for us today. We had to have a lot of patience because 1035 was our first number one trade. Remember, you need to trade from 7:45 to 10:45. Some days we're done by 9 a.m. in the morning where we get a couple number ones right off the board. Last couple of days haven't presented itself like that. We had to wait around a little while, but we did get it off finally. It came up to my number, almost stopped at the exact tick at 21, went through it by a tick, and then called the high for the big move. Now here's how you qualify the trade. What you do is a number one trade. If you're a new member coming in, what you need to do is this. You need to just focus on the number one trade until you get used to it, and then you can do the number two trade and the number three trade. There's only 3 setups in the trading room using market profile. But number one is the easiest one to see because you can't screw the trade up by projecting it where to buy and sell. Because the easy way to do it is this. If the moving averages are crossed down, meaning the smaller moving average is crossed down through the larger, then we know we're in a downtrend and it has good spread. So what we do is we sell the first test of the red dots. Here we have 21 on the bottom left chart. That's our volume area. And then we have 36. So as we come up to 21, we need to look at the 89 tick chart. And the 89 tick chart is going to tell us to do what? It's going to wait for the first red reversal bar and get us in. But there's a few things you can do to qualify the trade. And to qualify the trade, what we're going to do is we're going to look for big bars coming into the number. So let's pull this over. Right there's my number one right now. So I'm going to make this big so we understand how to do this. So as we come into the number one right here, we knew to sell 21. We're all the way down here at 32. We know to sell number one. This is a number two. Tried to break down a number two, but it got no speed, so you had to bail on that one. But then the number one trade is right here at 21. So we knew to short 21 would be the first test. There's your first test, 21. But you qualify it with the 89 tick. And how you do it is this. You want to look for big bars coming in. Now, I teach you guys and gals to look for what? How many tick retracement into a number one trade? I tried to do it this morning, but the moving average crossed over on me, so we couldn't take the trade. I'm looking for a 40 to 60 tick retracement right here. If you look at the low of the bar, it's 55. The high is around, let's say, 20. So I'm looking around a 60 tick retracement right here, right into it, right? 55, there's 45 there. 55, 65, right around 60 tick retracement. Those are your best number one trades when you get around a 40 to 60 tick retracement into my HVA or LVA with trend. So what do we do? How do we get into that trade? What I want you to do is look for big giant bars coming into the HVA. It works on gold the same way. So how we do it is we look for big bars. That's an exhaustion bar. Big green bar into HVA. Big green bar. Big green bar. Uh-oh. There we go. Small bar. There's my hammer. There's my spinning top. We're looking for 2 special bars. We're looking for a spinning top, or we're looking for a doji. Okay? The third one's a hammer. We get the hammer and we get the spinning top. The easy way to see it, once you go from big bars to small bars, that means the buyers are off. If the buyers are off, we get a high potential for a reversal. Now, what do I teach you? I teach you guys and gals. We had a 100 tick trade yesterday doing this. 100 tick trade on a number one trade is just barely under 100 ticks on gold yesterday. It was triple divergence. The best type of divergence you can have in the trading room at a number one trade, the first test of HVA or LVA, is triple divergence. We not only had triple divergence right before our 1045 ends, we had, look at the big giant bars coming into it. we had my exact candlesticks where I look for a reversal. Right there it is. There's your hammer. There's your, look how small your spinning top is. Check this out. Look how small your spinning top is compared to these bars. Look at the difference in these bar sizes. Big bars, big bars, big bars, small bars. That tells us one thing. I got a high probability reversal right at my high value area. Okay? We had a trial today. D-Rich asked us, why do these work? That's why it works, because we got possible resting orders right above 21. We know that's the HVA. Traders don't understand that. They need to understand that volume profile and price profile will let you know where support and resistance is. So we need to understand as traders that we only have a couple spots during the day to buy and sell, right, on a number one trade. Because they don't come up very often. When they come up, you stalk them between 7:45 and 10:45, then you go to work. Now, when you come up to it, you look for big bars, big bar, big bar, small bar, then you look for the red reversal bar. But the cool thing about this bottom oscillator is triple divergence. This is the best divergence you can get with trend. You can't get any better than this. You cannot get better than this triple divergence right here. You look for this exact pattern on HV and LVA, and if you see it, we had a 100 ticker, just under, 98 ticks was it yesterday? On gold, same exact thing, had triple divergence, just like that, okay? So we look for it to come into HVA. If you get a 40 to 60 tick retracement into my HVA, that's a perfect number one, okay? Who all took advantage of the number one right here? Just give me a Y in the room. Who all took advantage of the trade? Who all executed? Good job. Good job, Earl. Good job, Kwame. Wei Jun, good job. Good job, Mort. Steve, good job. Josh, Elena, Randy, Lloyd, Norman, Ed. All right. Good job, Clay. Good job, Ron. Good job. You got to be patient, guys and gals. You have to be patient. Now, how we can scale here is this. You scale with this. You can use your automated dome, but look it. You scale here. You can scale here if you have multiple contracts. That's where you can scale. There's a scale. You can bail 75% on the second set of symmetry. You can bail 75% off here. So if you're doing 4 contracts, you can bail all the way down to 1. And then you can wait till the next market profile down here at 32 or go for the next symmetry dots. The bottom line is this is your trade for the day, guys and gals. Okay? All right, that's 1 for 1 today off a number one trade. If you are a new trader in the trading room, the number ones will come up. You got to be patient. You got to focus on them from 7:45 to 10:45, and you're good to go. You just have to be patient. It's our highest probability trade in the room. It's our highest probability trade. That's why we name it a number one trade. If you just trade this by itself every single week between gold and oil, okay, that could be your complete trading plan, just a number one trade on retracement. A lot of traders do live money just on the number one. Traders that have the J extension, they look for a J extension to fire off here also on number ones on HV and LBA with trend. It's a very, very simple setup because all we do, anybody can learn how to trade this. I don't care what level of experience you have in the markets. I don't care if it's 30 and I don't care if it's 6 months. All you do is you look for a moving average cross down, the first test of HVA with trend. Okay? All right, guys and gals, I'll see you tomorrow morning, 8:15. We were very patient today. Very, very patient to wait for a number one, and we finally got it, so good job. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:15 tomorrow morning. All right, nice work.